Good morning, everybody. It's day 4 of my 100 Days of Magic. Or day, yeah, because that makes it January 4th. Yeah, that's easy to keep up with, actually, as long as we're still in January. This is going to be more of an audio thing today. It's going to be story time, I guess. And while I do that, since obviously video is my medium, I figured I would re-sleeve one of the decks that these awesome sleeves that the wife got me. She got me the full set, and we'll re-sleeve the blue deck. But I was thinking it's early Friday morning, and I want to do this Friday morning because we are all probably going to go play Magic tonight of some sort. Hopefully, we are. And I guess to start with, it would be a good thing to tell you exactly how I found this game. Um, I grew up and I left my hometown in 1994 and moved away to chase a rainbow. Went to work at a different place, and I mean, these are not bad sleeves. I'm still going to use them for another deck, but for for this specific deck, it's I thought the blue ones have to be. I guess what's the best way to take them apart first, or do it as I go? I don't know. But a coworker had come down the aisle and he had said, "I hear you like Star Trek," and I was like, "Yeah." And so he said, "Well, there's this game. The Star Trek game had come out in 1994, and I think this will be better this way." And so he said, there's this game that come out, and he quickly talked to me about it, and I told the buddy, I was like, well, I love anything Star Trek. I may collect the cards, but I'm probably not going to play the game. And he showed me, he had 2 decks. He showed me how, and it was amazing. It played, it's a dead game now. It's no longer supported, but I'm a Trekkie at heart. I have been forever. So I was like, well, we'll, and I went deep in it. Oh my gosh. I was buying a booster box a week. And yeah, I was passing up some now pretty expensive Magic stuff. But the, I don't know, a couple of months while playing, he said, if you like this game, there's this other game you might like. Me and some buddies get together and play. Because I was like the only one he could play Trek with, because keep in mind, this was 1994. Local game shops did not exist. The internet was in its infancy. Um, it just, yeah, in your local area, if you were a gamer, it was hard. So I played a game of Magic and played a couple games that night. And I was like, it's all right. Well, the very next day, I was like, oh, I just kept thinking about it, thinking about it. I was like, man, that was fun. What if I'd have done this? What if I'd have done that? And so I went to the local collectible shop in the town. By the way, this town was Cape Girardeau, Missouri. At this point, was where I was living, and the shop was B&L Coins. It was a coin collector shop, and they had dealt in some baseball cards and some like Disney cards, collectible cards, things like that. And they had just recently gotten into this Magic thing, and so I went there and I had bought a couple of packs of the Dark, I believe. Yeah, yeah, because that was Eater of the Dead. And went home to build a deck. Didn't have a clue what I was doing, you know, and was trying to teach people, not even knowing the rules good myself. And so I saw him at work, and I was like, Don, uh, you got to teach me more about this game. And he just kind of laughed, and that's when he told me it was a cardboard crack. Didn't quite understand what he meant. It is all too evident now. So he taught me how to play. We would the place we worked at was the store we worked was open till midnight, and we would go to Hardee's because it was open all night long afterwards, since there wasn't a place to play in that town at the time. And we would just jam games, and he would show me the rules interactions, and I was like, so when you gonna introduce me to your I didn't really call it a play group back then because that wasn't a term that I knew of. And he said, let's get you taught first, and then we'll. I said, okay. So eventually, I met his play group. It was him and 3 others. And it was pretty much all of the player psychographics that you could think of. I'm new, so I'm definitely the big creature kid. Even though I was like, was I the oldest one at the table? No, probably not. But the that is where we met at SEMO College all the time because it was kind of center of town, and that's where we all just would meet. And we would do it before work. Gosh, I remember some sleepless days. Working 3:30 to 12, going to Hardee's, play until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, going to the college. Even though I didn't go to the college, you just go to the cafeteria commons area, and I remember playing cards against people that I didn't even speak their language. I just had a magic deck sitting out on the table, and the only word they spoke was magic. So, and that was in 94, 95 now. So I actually learned to play in a multiplayer environment. The format we played now is called Casual Constructed. Back then, it was called The Cards That I Have. um, we all kind of laughed when Standard took off, and what do you mean you can't play with some of our cards, But the politics has never been foreign to me. I guess you could say I grew up in Magic with the politics of multiplayer. It's just part of the game, and I never understood. I was like, tournaments? What fun is that? You just get to play against one person, see how fast you can kill them? What? I didn't get it. Obviously, I was, a noob, if you will. If anybody was a noob, it was me. Oh man, I did some crazy stuff. Um, but moved away. I believe the last big night that we had there was Alliances had just came out. I mean, like that day kind of just came out, and I know Don was moving. I think I was moving a couple days later, and it was just kind of a chapter ending night. So we played Magic, left. Yeah, that was a day Alliances came out because we all made fun of how dumb Force of Will was. Um, little did we know. So that brings us to, let's see, it's been a long time in Cape, but moved and came back down Man, look at those sleeves. Oh, gosh, those are gorgeous. Is that the Eclipse technology as well? That gray back? Hmm. To move back down Tennessee, found an actual game shop. Y'all know what that card means. It's a regular island. It's holding a place for something. um, and that store was called Game Escape, I believe. Yeah. Played there. Now, keep in mind, oh, no. I missed. I moved to Sykeston. There was the Sykeston Mall, which was dying even then, and there was a game shop in it run by a really cool guy. He owner operator, and we had that was where I picked up Warhammer. Yes, through the years I have cheated on Magic and I've played other games, and hindsight being what it is, I have learned that I always come back to Magic. And now it feels like every dollar I spend on another game is a dollar I could have spent on Magic. Yeah. And if y'all know anything about Warhammer, you know it is not a cheap game. Never has been. So, played Warhammer, by the way. I played Dark Elves. Played Dark Elves for so long that I began to think like a Dark Elf. I just hated High Elves. Anyway, still got the army, but the game doesn't exist anymore. See, that's how you can tell an old. Don't reuse your perfect fits, people, because once you put a card in it, that sleeve belongs to that card, because if you take it out and put it in, it's never quite as tight. So it's pretty Felwar. Played in Sykeston for a little while. Then to move back home Tennessee. Still was playing like pretty much everything that had come out. You know, played a little Warhammer. Of course, we played Overpower, Star Trek, you know, all that stuff. But you always come back to Magic. You know, if it's in your blood, it's in your blood. You can leave the game, but the game never leaves you. So, let's see. Guy came down and he'd worked for Decipher, and he was demoing a Lord of the Rings card game. And he was demoing the game, teaching you how to play, giving everybody decks. Well, the deck that he taught you with. And I didn't do it because by this time I was like, I'm a Magic player. What was this? Saga block? Saga period? Seems like it. So, man, I might have to squish the air out of those. You can see how much air is in them. These are 280 counts, so she said, hey, it's enough for 160 is enough for an EDH deck and a standard deck, because I know you don't build sideboards anyway. Oh, she knows me. And so, but because of that, the Lord of the Rings card game really took off in our area. We were having weekly tournaments with like 15, 20 people a week for this Lord of the Rings game. And the people he showed got so good. I mean, one of our guys, several of them, went to nationals, went to worlds. Did Ryan win nationals? I don't remember. Ryan's won so much stuff. He's a good player. And then, let's see. That shop closed down. A good friend opened up another one, played there. That was the shop that was in town the longest. That's where me and my wife started dating. Um, we will get into probably. I have way more stories than it'll take here. We're almost done, but my wife and magic is another story altogether. But and then there's the game shop that I owned. There was the origins of this channel. Yeah, there's a bunch. But so let's see, what is that? Where are we at now? We're at Ravnica-ish, City of Guilds, original Ravnica standard. I had missed, I had missed most of, let's see, Kamigawa block. I think I missed just because of I was working, you know, 84-hour weeks literally. And then got heavy. You know, I still picked up cards when I could, still played as much as I could. I've never quit Magic, and you know, I've just time and funds have been divided sometimes. So I'm still using Rewind. Uh, I guess I just needed another counter spell, but definitely need more of those. Oh man. But I missed a lot of Onslaught, Legion, Scourge. Like I bought heavy into Onslaught, but like Legions and Scourge, man, everything I've got is. I mean, I may have bought a couple of packs. Period. That's it. So everything I've got has come from buying collections or trading or just outright buying singles, what have you. But yeah, so then there was a shop opened up right down the street from my house. As cool as that sounds, it's dangerous, man. Passing by the game shop on your way home from work every day, whoo, that's a wife's nightmare. So the I played at the shop uptown on Fridays and the new shop on Saturdays to try to show my support for both, and he hadn't gotten sanctioned yet, so I wasn't missing Friday Night Magic or anything, and because of that, we actually kind of built up a Magic crowd on Saturday night. So it was a very different kind of shop. I try to stay positive. I try not to be negative at all. I just have no time for that at this point in my life. But he had some opportunities that he never explored. But anyway, that shop moved, and more questionable decisions were made. And me and the wife were driving by the old building that it was still there empty after, I don't know, 6 months, a year, I can't remember. And the building was still there, still was vacant. It was a very, very old building. And some stuff had happened, and I looked at that shop. We were both there in the car, and I said, that'd be a really good spot for a game shop. And she said, yep, and I think you're just the person to do it. Folks, that was all I needed. That was pretty much the wife's go-ahead. So I signed a lease and opened up a game shop. And that's a good place to end it. I didn't realize that would take 20 minutes of just de-sleeving and re-sleeving a deck. Anyway, that is Kefnet. So I have got to get to work. Well, no. I woke up early to do this. Let's see. Is it automatically going to start out capitalized? Yeah. I guess right now there's only one Kefnet, so I don't have to put the mindful. So, will these fit in? No. I guess we'll put these back in here for when I ever decide to build a blue standard deck. If that ever happens. Put these sugars up, because if I don't put them back up, I'll lose them and all this stuff. So, I don't remember what number this is. Anybody know what number Kefnet was? I can search it up on the channel. Oh, I think I have my handy dandy log right here beside me. Kefnet. Oh, there's tomorrow's deck. I actually bought that card yesterday. I had the white, the original one from Exodus, and let's see. Hold on. Excuse me while I don't talk. I'm an old guy. I have to be quiet while I read. I say that and I'm still talking. Well, not in the first 50. Oh, yeah. That's right. Kefnet. It would have been 86. That's deck number 86. So, what was I saying? Insert symbol number 86. So, I guess that's all of the. I appreciate y'all watching and making, just let me be a part of your daily life, and it's hard with big old fingers. 86. Now, Kefnet's back and got this really cool deck box that, like I said, will probably. Hey, patrons, shout me an address and I'll you might get a surprise in the mail. Anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But this has been day 4 of 100 Days of Magic. Y'all have a good day.